one ancient example. We can grind grain like this, or we can grind grain like this, right? You can see that these two would be considered different cultures. These people in this place do it like this. These people in that place do it like that. And then, of course, these people in that place do it like that. And there's so many. When I started looking at grain grinding, it's wonderful through history and geography how much, wow, humans are amazing, the things we come up with. But there's a discontinuity between these two and this one. Why? Because even though these are very different, here on the left in the green, these are very different ways of doing things, but they've got a common kind of meta culture behind them, which is, this would often be a communal activity. It's done with your own hands. You'd often have people gathering to do this together, doing it with work songs and rhythms and chants and chatter and gossip, right? So there were values of continuity, intimacy, and interdependence, and nourishment was part of family and ritual and ancestral knowledge. And what you were also learning at a meta level when you learned how to grind grain, you were learning the skill, but you were also learning patience and relationship with the earth. And the labor itself was an act of connection, linking you to the others in the community, linking you to your sense of cultural identity and sustenance in a cyclical, embodied way. And that's what they have in common, whatever they look like. Once we start doing things like this in history, and this also happens all over the world, but we start shifting that background. It starts shifting now because it's being centralized. People are bringing their grain to the mill, and only the miller can grind it. Very different value set here. So now we're talking about efficiency, and control becomes possible, and hierarchy can emerge. Who can afford to build a mill, right? And sustenance and production become separate, and food processing can now go into systems of power and commerce. You now have to pay the miller to get your mill, your corn ground. You can't do it yourself anymore. So things start to shift. Either way, this is still enculturation. Whichever one of these you grow up in is going to seem normal. If you're used to seeing it milled by the miller, it seems odd to you, the idea that you should have to grind it by hand. That's enculturation. Ultimately, we actually have a level of choice about what to align with and make our own. And this is the greatest principle of education, is not to be trapped as a slave to your origins, but to be able to actually have power to choose how you're going to live your life.